Hey everybody, this is Chris, and today we are going to do a range flight between the DJI Mini 2 and the DJI Mini 3 Pro. Before I do that, I just want to say, yes, I know the rules. Visual line of sight. I've never flown visual line of sight, I don't think, ever, unless I'm flying in my yard. So, I know the rules. There's no need to recite them to me. I fly responsibly. Even though I break the rules. So at no time do you find me behind the sticks. The person next to me flying it, you don't see them behind the sticks. The person down the street flying it, you don't see them behind the sticks. My wife, my dog, whoever's flying it, you don't see them behind the sticks. So prove it in a court of law. Alright, so now that nonsense is over with, the main important thing here is I want to compare the two of these. So today, July the 15th, 2022, new firmware update does not address anything to do with range for any of you having a range problem. I'm going to speak for the US and Canada. For Canada, it's almost like they've been downgraded to CE. For the USA, we have good range in our FCC version. But it's almost like it's a weaker signal. So I stand behind what I've said in the beginning. DJI delivered this with a weaker signal, and I'll explain that. First off, anybody that's done a mini quad, sub 249 quad, with this much technology packed into it, something's got to give. They're overdoing it with these quads, and they're delivering, but something always has to give. The Autel Nano Plus, the Hubsan Mini Pro, or whatever it is, something gave in both those quads. They had to subtract stuff so they don't overheat, so they don't harm the hardware, and so it functions safely. So I think that's what DJI's gone and done here. Whether or not they'll bring that signal up, I don't know, if that be the case. One thing I do not think it is, I do not think it has anything to do with the controller. I have flown the DJI Mini 3 Pro with both these controllers. People think that this controller will be better because it's got the antenna. Well, that's a phone holder. It's not an antenna. The antenna's here, but look, it's encased in plastic. A rather thick plastic at that. What's the difference here? Its antenna's encased in plastic. So there is no difference. I've already done the flights, I've already done the testing, and there is no difference. I still lose signal pretty much the exact same way I do with either antenna or this controller versus this controller. So there's no difference there. I can completely rule out without question that the controller is the issue. To me, I really do think that they reduce the signal strength. So here's what we're going to have. We're just going to go out, and here's what I want you to focus on. You're going to have a screenshot of each one, and I want you to focus on that signal strength. We're going to go out for 3 miles, see if both quads make it 3 miles, and then come back. It's a little bit windy in the flight. We're going to see how they do in wind, how the batteries did, and so forth. So here's what you're going to learn in this flight. What you're not going to see is you're not going to see whoever was piloting it. And you're not going to see how, when it came to the Mini 2, they could stay in one place. You're going to have to take my word for that. And then you're not going to see how, when they fly the DJI Mini 3 Pro, they had to walk all over the place and keep moving the controller to keep that signal. But what you are going to see is how that signal on each quad, since the screens are side by side, the screen recordings are side by side, you're going to see how much it fluctuates on one versus the other. So you're going to see signal strength, and I think that was very, very interesting to see as a comparison between the two. And you're going to see which one made it out 3 miles and which one did not. And then you're going to see which one did not make it back. So yes, I had to go and do another Find My Drone. I was able to land it somewhere safely, but it was still far out, and it was in the farm fields, and I had to go locate it and all that. So you'll find out which one of the two did not make it back. I had more wind. I had some wind in the flight, but I had more wind coming back, and it affected one of them not making it back. So and that's pretty much it. That's what you're going to find in this video. So again, line of sight, know the rules, don't need to recite them to me. This is just a test that I'm doing. You're welcome. And one more time, the firmware update today, July 15th, 2022, has not changed anything with range, and it doesn't matter what controller you're using to fly your DJI Mini 3 Pro with. There is no difference in signal strength that way either. For me, it doesn't matter what channel I put it on or anything like that. So again, speaking for the USA and Canada, these are the problems that we're facing. Not so much a problem for us here in the US. This is just a little bit of a nuisance when I do get far out and I do have certain obstructions in the way. This just isn't penetrating, and I have to be like I'm pointing a laser at the drone, constantly adjusting, and it's a bit of a pain in the butt. Other than that, I love the quad. It's the most stable of all the minis. It's just a pure joy to fly. I love the quad. So main purpose is just putting out this video. I think it's a very good comparison to see between the two, especially if you focus on the signal strength in both videos. And you'll see that I flew the same path and changed altitude very well. I think I matched them up almost perfectly. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Thumbs up on your way out, and if you're new to my channel, I do hope you'll subscribe and then hit that bell for future content notifications, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace and love. right there. 0% battery, y'all. And we're gonna go land right in that field. It's a good thing about Ohio. Come on, keep going. Coming down. Past that tree. And try to land it right here. Closer to the road. We're gonna let it land right here. And that's all, folks. Let it land and hopefully it's not in the road. It doesn't look to be. Bring it down. Okay, that was a forced landing. Okay, so that didn't go too well. It's really hot out here. It's like breaking 90. I've got a good distance between me and the quad, and it's somebody's farm field. There is a road path, a dirt road path to it, and people aren't really shooting you these days for going on their property. I'd probably get a mean scolding. So I think I'm going to just go for it, but I'll show you the property here. So if you can see that. So straight ahead, that tree out to the left, I got to take the long way by walking straight and cutting a hard left, it looks like. So if you can see that, that's a lot of walking for such a hot day. So I think I'm going to take the risk and just do the drive. So let's drive on out to it and see how it works out. Okay, so right where I landed her, right here on the side of the road. So that battery might be dead flat, no good, but she's safe. Yeah, it has no light, so we'll see if it recharges, but the drone is safe. That's all that matters. So now, as you can see, I'm trespassing. I'm in the middle of somebody's fields, so I got to get back over there and get back home.